You come into the world cradled in a soft nest of leaves and stems that your mother has carefully arranged high among the branches. The air is thick and warm, a blanket of tropical humidity that clings to every surface. Around you is a forest alive with sound. Insects buzz, birds call, and distant howls echo across the green valleys. You cannot yet see them, but these are the mountains and lowland forests of Central Africa. This is home. Your eyes open for the first time. Everything is blurry, and you blink slowly as if the world is too large to take in all at once. You are a gorilla, a tiny one, barely 2 kilograms at birth. Soft black hair covers your fragile body, and your long fingers curl instinctively around anything that brushes them. From the very beginning, survival is no gentle promise. Leopards lurk in the shadows, snakes slither silently, and hunger is never far away. Yet for now, you are pressed against the chest of a giant, your mother. Her heartbeat is your anchor, and her strength is your only shield. You cling. That is the first and most important thing you learn. Your mother's fur becomes your first branch. You hold on as she moves, eating leaves, stripping bark, and occasionally giving a gentle grunt to reassure you. At first you do nothing more than sleep and drink the warm milk that flows from her, rich with fat and antibodies. It is a complete meal designed by millions of years of evolution, protecting you from disease and helping you grow. Your tiny body is helpless, but not for long. Within a few weeks, your muscles gain strength. You try to raise your head, your fingers pry at leaves, and your curious eyes follow the movements of older siblings tumbling on the ground. Every hour of your young life is a lesson. Gorillas like you are born into tight-knit groups led by a dominant silverback, a towering male with a back of shimmering gray hair. He keeps order, watches for danger, and decides where the group feeds. Your mother always stays close to him because a strong protector means you will live. Play begins early. You wobble on all fours, your hands and feet soft against the damp forest floor. You try to imitate the clumsy jumps of the older youngsters, but mostly you fall into piles of moss and leaves. In falling, you learn balance. In crawling, you learn strength. Predators are a whisper of fear at this age, a presence you cannot yet understand, but your mother knows. When a shadow moves in the canopy, she presses you to her belly and melts into the thickets. Your heartbeat speeds up with hers, a shared drumbeat of survival. You learn what to eat by watching. Broad green leaves, young shoots, fruits when they appear. Gorillas are mostly gentle vegetarians, and your first lessons are not about the hunt, but about patience and the rhythm of foraging. You are small, but you are no longer only a passenger. You're beginning to be a gorilla. The day comes when your lips close around something other than milk. It is not dramatic. It's no blood, no roar, just a simple green leaf. You reach for it while your mother chews slowly, and she lets you have it. You look at the leaf as if it were treasure, then shove it into your mouth. It is fibrous, bitter, and full of tiny veins. You gag, spit out a piece, and then try again. This first meal is your introduction to the peculiar menu of a gorilla. Over time, you will eat over 100 different kinds of plants, stems, bark, fruits, sometimes insects, and occasionally even soil rich in minerals, like the great predators around you. Your power does not come from the hunt, but from the sheer volume of green matter you can consume. Your teeth and digestive system are designed for this. Wide, flat molars grind the plants into pulp. Your stomach is vast, and your intestines even more so, because plant matter is tough and hard to digest. Inside you, colonies of bacteria and protozoa work tirelessly to break down the cellulose. Fermentation produces gases and, in return, vital nutrients that keep you alive. You fart a lot, but in your family, no one seems to mind. At first, eating is clumsy. You pull at leaves with too much force and fall backward when a stem refuses to break. But each day, your movements grow more precise. Your sense of smell guides you to the sweetest shoots, and your keen eyes learn to recognize the bright green flash of young growth amid older leaves. Food is everywhere in these forests, but it is also competition. Older juveniles snatch from your hands. Sometimes even your mother has to nudge you away to keep your tiny belly from getting more than it can handle. The first full belly of leaves fills you with a sleepy joy. You roll on your back, belly round, and let the warmth of the midday sun bathe you. There is no hunt, but there is victory. You have begun the long relationship with food that will shape every day of your life. Time passes, and your once tiny frame swells with muscle and bone. By the time you reach 3 years old, you are no longer carried everywhere. You now walk on your knuckles like the others, a slow, deliberate rhythm that frees your hands for branches and food. Your arms are long, your shoulders powerful, and every day you test the strength of your growing body. Your baby teeth begin to loosen. One morning as you chew a stick, a tooth drops out, leaving an empty gap. It is strange at first, but soon larger. Stronger teeth grow in, ready to grind tougher plants. Your digestive system matures alongside your appetite. The milk that once sustained you is now rare. Instead, you rely on the forest and on your own ability to chew and chew and chew. Your eyes sharpen. You can see the difference between tender shoots and coarse old leaves. Your ears catch the faint crackle of a branch that might mean danger. You begin to understand the signs that ripple through the forest, the alarm hoots of monkeys, the silence that falls when a leopard prowls. The forest itself becomes your playground and your training ground. Climbing up vines, you discover a new perspective. Falling is inevitable. Sometimes you bounce and laugh. Other times the impact knocks the wind from you. Each fall is a lesson in balance. Bigger bodies bring new dangers. Predators still exist, and now rival males from neighboring groups may show interest in your family. You watch the silverback confront intruders with terrifying chest beats and hoarse roars that shake the forest. Your small heart pounds in awe and fear. One day, if you are strong, you too may have to beat your chest and hold the ground. One dry season, the forest turns less generous. Fruit becomes scarce. The leaves are tougher, and the streams shrink into thin ribbons of muddy water. Your stomach complains often now. You eat bark to fill the emptiness, but it is not enough. You feel the slow drain of energy, your once bouncy movements replaced by sluggish steps. Then comes the sickness. Perhaps it is something spoiled you ate, perhaps a parasite in the water. Fever grips you, and even your mother's arms feel heavy. She carries you anyway, brushing flies away from your face. The group moves, and you sway with her steps, half awake. When the weakness grows unbearable, you collapse against her chest. Your body begins to conserve what little strength remains. Breathing slows. You no longer care about the green world around you. You care only about staying pressed against her warmth. Luck comes in the form of rain. Heavy sheets fall for days, turning the air cool and reviving the plants. New shoots emerge, tender and easy to digest. Gradually, your strength returns. Your group forages for long hours, and every mouthful restores a piece of you. One day you wake and realize the dizziness is gone. The crisis has passed. Hunger and illness have left their scars. But you have learned a quiet truth. Life in the forest is fragile, and survival is a victory earned anew each day. Years later, you are no longer a small shadow behind your mother. You stand tall, muscles sculpted by the forest life. Your weight now exceeds 150 kilograms. If you are male, a swath of silver hair spreads across your back, a signal to all that you are maturing into a silverback. If female, you carry the poise and strength of an adult, ready to raise young of your own. Adulthood brings changes not only in size but in the way others see you. The older silverback begins to watch you closely. You feel the tension build as you enter your prime. Dominance in gorillas is not taken lightly. A challenge is declared with a show. Standing tall, you drum your cupped hands against your chest. The sound booms through the forest, a deep, hollow rhythm that warns rivals and excites potential mates. Sometimes displays are enough. Other times, fights break out. Teeth flash, bodies collide, and the air fills with roars. The battles are brutal, but rarely fatal. Strength and confidence win respect. Territory means access to food and safety for the family, but it also means access to mates. Courtship among gorillas is subtle. Gentle touches, prolonged grooming, low rumbles of reassurance. A bond is formed over shared moments in the shade, picking insects from each other's fur, a slow dance of trust. You sense the pull of biology. Hormones surge, changing not only your body but your priorities. You are no longer a child playing in the vines. You are part of the great contest for survival in another form. the chance to leave behind a piece of yourself in the next generation. When the time comes, you begin the quiet search for a mate. It is not a wild chase through the trees, but a patient weaving of trust. Grooming is your language. Pick through another's fur with gentle fingers, removing burrs and insects, listening to the low hum of contentment that answers you. This is courtship in the forest, slow and deliberate. Once a bond is formed, the act of reproduction itself is simple and private. Months pass, and if you are a female, your belly swells with the growing life inside you. A gorilla pregnancy lasts about 8.5 months, almost the same as a human. As the days pass, you eat more, seeking tender shoots and fruits, knowing instinctively that your body is building a new being from these leaves. The moment of birth comes in the shelter of the group. You crouch low, and with one final effort, the tiny infant slides into the world. Eyes squeezed shut, hands already curling. Hold it close, bringing it to your chest where it clings, without needing to be taught. The group gathers nearby, calm and watchful, while the silverback keeps a silent vigil. If you are a male, your role is different. You protect, stay near, watching for threats, and keeping the family safe. You may not carry the infant, but your presence makes the difference between safety and danger. Raising a young gorilla is an act of constant care. You keep it close for years, teaching it what to eat, where to move, how to read the sounds of the forest. At night, you build a nest of leaves, cradling it against your warm body. In the tiny, trusting face, you see yourself years ago, when you clung helplessly to your own mother. The years gather around you like layers of bark. The energy of youth slowly softens into the calm strength of age. Your movements are slower now. Your chest beats less frequent, but your presence remains a force in the forest. Around you, the group continues, its endless rhythm of feeding, grooming, traveling, and resting. You watch as the young ones climb and tumble through the vines, their laughter ringing like bells. You know their lessons. You have lived them. The first fall, the first taste of leaves, the first encounter with hunger, the first challenge to stand tall. Each one carries forward what you have learned through your own scars and triumphs. In your later years, you spend more time sitting, leaning against a tree trunk with your face turned toward the filtered sunlight. The forest seems quieter, though you know it is as full of life as ever. You eat more slowly, you think more, or at least it feels that way. And when you close your eyes, the hum of insects and the rustle of leaves are as familiar as your own heartbeat. Someday, when your body finally tires beyond recovery, you will simply stay behind. The group will move on, and you will rest. In the forest, nothing is wasted. Your body will return to the soil, feeding the very plants that nourished you all your life. Life does not stop with you. New infants will cling to their mothers. Young males will drum their chests and test their strength. The cycle will turn, just as it has for generations. And if there is a final thought, a last whisper of humor as you drift away, it might be this. For all the serious work of survival, the forest was also full of leaves, laughter, and a good solid fart or two. A fitting farewell for a life well lived.